the Pwnagotchi. While it may appear cute on the outside, this little device is set out to capture some pretty valuable information from nearby networks. Using passive sniffing techniques, it collects Wi-Fi handshakes, those critical exchanges between devices and... Okay, who am I kidding? I'm reading this from ChatGPT. This is super cheesy, but yes, it is as cool as it sounds. And today, I'm taking on the challenge of building it. Unscripted. Welcome to the series where I've built some pretty cool stuff, unscripted. That means you get to watch me suffer. You're gonna see the good. Oh my god, it's working. You're gonna see the bad. Oh god, I bent the pins. That's not good. So without further ado, let's start with the warning. You should definitely only use this responsibly and ethically. Intercepting and cracking Wi-Fi networks without permission is illegal and a violation of privacy. I totally did not read that off of ChatGPT. But really, this is for educational purposes only. All links to the products that I purchased will be in the description. Now let's get into it. All right guys, this is my setup here. It's not the best setup, but it's what we're working with. So let me kind of go through the parts I bought because I think that's important, first of all, right? To kind of showcase everything that's needed. I will start off with the Raspberry Pi. Here it is. This is the computer. It's that small. It's a Raspberry Pi. The one I got is the the Raspberry Pi 02W. The thing with this is it only supports 2.4 gigahertz connections, right? Once this is built, your Pwnagotchi will only be able to recognize 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi networks. It won't be able to recognize 5 gigahertz because this board, it only supports 2.4 gigahertz. Anyway, I'm going to sound like a total idiot saying a lot of this stuff because let me tell you, this is my first time building this. We're doing this together, first time. So yes, I'm by no means a professional. The battery. I went with the PiSugar2. This comes in this little box. It's pretty cool, pretty nice. The idea with this device is you go around and it automatically connects handshakes. You obviously need a power source, right? So you can use like a battery pack or portable charger, I suppose. But I want it to be compact and nice. I don't have a case for it, unfortunately. That's the one I got. I got the PiSugar2. Next thing is these headers. The reason we need this, this is kind of a two-part thing. So this is just installing headers on this computer, Raspberry Pi, so that we can add additional hardware to it, like a display. I'm trying to do all this without soldering. Normally, I think people have a soldering kit when they're doing this kind of stuff. The way I'm going to be installing the pins is through this rig here. You can see that it's like you're going to be like pushing down on the headers. The Waveshare 2.13 inches e-ink display hat v4 version. Yeah, it's a long title, but it's just a display. It's a black and white display. It's kind of like, you can think of them like the those reading tablets. What are they called? The ones that Amazon makes? Oh god, I forgot. Then a micro SD card. I got 32 gigs. That's everything I need. So let's kind of go and see what we need to do next. Okay. All right, guys. So we're on my computer right now. Before we get into the hardware stuff, what I'm going to do is actually flash the Pwnagotchi image on the micro SD card first. My computer doesn't actually have an SD card reader or even a micro SD card reader. So what I'm using is I've got a Anchor kind of adapter here that I'll just put into my PC, just work fine like that. Let's see here. There it is. In the description, I've left the link to the actual Pwnagotchi image. This is not the original. There are a bunch of other different images out there on the internet because the original creator stopped making the original image. So we're using a fork of it. Someone else who decided to continue the project, and it's got a lot of stars. So we're going with that one. Click this, the latest release. And because I have a 64-bit Raspberry Pi V2, that's the one I have, it is 64-bit. So I'm going with a 64-bit image. I'm just going to actually right-click it and copy link. Now, I'm going to need to flash it. We're going to flash from the URL program called Balena Etcher. So do that. Here's the URL. Select target. We're going to select our SD card. Then we're just going to select and flash. This will take some time. So imaging the freaking SD card just completely failed. It stopped at 74%. It's like here. It's just nothing. So I'm trying to troubleshoot it right now, and let's see if this works. So what I've just done here is I'm using the disk part tool in Windows, listed out my disks, and you see it does appear here. It's a 29 gig, well, 32 gig SD card, micro SD card, but it obviously only displays 29. See, this is how troubleshooting works, guys. You just gotta, there are no partitions. That's another problem. Let's try disk management. Let's see that. This one, disk one part. No, was that it? Here, unallocated. Reducible volume. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like, I don't know, something screwed up. There we go. We will assign it a P for Pwnagotchi. Nice. Okay, let's try this again. And we're going to do the same thing we did originally. Flash from URL. Key, select target. Fingers crossed this works. It's going to show if you want to format. We don't want to format because there would be no point. All right, we're back here for just a second. We've got the image flashed. We've got the SD card ready. What we're going to do is we're going to take it and put it into our Raspberry Pi now. Right there. That. Yep. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. We've got that set up. The micro SD card is in there, but now we want to actually connect our Raspberry Pi to our main computer so we can work on it, right? Thing is, you need a micro USB cable. So I've got one here. Honestly, I have no idea if this is only for power or for data as well. That's the important thing to keep in mind. It's like your micro USB cable has to accept data. There are two slots here for the cable. I was told that the middle one is the one you're supposed to plug it into. So let's give it a shot. Okay, I see light. You can see that blinking, right, guys? Heck yeah. We're gonna leave it like that. Let's see. Let's continue. Let's go back to our computer. We're back on the PC and on the device manager. Essentially, the device I have just plugged in is this one right here, USB serial device. And it's not supposed to be under this category. It's supposed to be listed as a network adapter. And the reason it's not is because we do not have the sufficient Windows driver, I guess, to make that work. I found a YouTuber who provided a solution to that. It goes by the name of Talking Sasquatch. He's provided a link to the driver specifically for the Pwnagotchi. Okay, so we're gonna install that. The reason we do need it as a network adapter is in order to have remote access so we can SSH into it, do our business there. Okay, yeah, I'll also leave the link to that in the description. It is this file right here. We're going to extract this here. Got two of these files, and then we'll right click this one right here, setup file, right click it, and hit install. There it is. It's now being seen as a USB Ethernet / RNDIS gadget, which is what we needed. Perfect. Next thing we can do is we're going to head over to the control panel and go under network connections. And over here, we are going to right click our new device, go to properties, and we're going to change some IPv4 settings. Scroll down. Here we are. We're just going to configure its IP address and subnet mask. Something to keep in mind is that we are essentially setting up the Pwnagotchi so it has its own dedicated network interface while it's connected to our computer. So that way we can pretty much easily access it via SSH. All right, so we are on the IPv4 properties section. We're just going to set the IP address as 10.0.0.0.1, and then the subnet mask 255.255.255. We'll hit OK, close that. All right, and now we're back on the webcam, kind of going back and forth here. Sorry about that. We're going to install the header onto our Raspberry Pi. I'm using an install rig so that I don't have to do any soldering because I don't have a soldering kit. Maybe one day, but this is what the kit looks like. So it does come with a little instruction manual. Step 1, unscrew the two standoffs on either side of the slot. Looks like in the image they unscrewed these ones closer to the center. So I'll do that. Next it says, align the Raspberry Pi Zero board with the header holes above the slot and secure in place by reattaching the two standoffs. As so, and then you see these two standoffs, the holes fit perfectly. The holes in the Raspberry Pi fit perfectly with the standoff holes. Okay, and then it says align the Raspberry Pi board with the header holes above the slot and secure in place by reattaching the 2 standoffs. All right. Sorry, I want to try to get a better angle for y'all here. Oh, this is a cooler angle. Look at that. Okay, it's pretty secure. Next, place the hammer in header into place on the board. I guess these are called, yeah, these are called hammer headers. I did not know that. But it says place the hammer in header into place on the board. Okay, so it's like right there. I gotta pick this up. I need a better look here. Look at that. Whoa, this camera's actually pretty good quality for a webcam. Okay, now it says place the hammer plate in place using the long side posts as guides. Like that. Thoroughly, repeatedly strike all areas on the plate. Okay, let me grab my hammer. I conveniently had a hammer. Did not think I would need it. Is this working? And I guess I'd have to hit harder. Alright guys, this is, to the pros, you're gonna hate me. This is a terrible attempt. I don't know if you can see these last couple pins. Those last couple ones, they're so kind of bent. But they're all through to the end. I don't know if I just suck at hammering or it's something with these headers. Anyway, let's just continue, see how things go from here. Alright guys, let's try installing the freaking screen now. I don't know if I mentioned this yet, but I've got the Waveshare Inc. V4. So like the latest one. It's pretty cool looking. That's why we need the headers. So we can install the Raspberry Pi onto our screen. Ooh, that does not look good. I'm able to install like most of them. Like the pins are able to go inside most of the header holes, whatever. I don't even know what this is called. The header holes of the Waveshare. I probably will have to like readjust the pins somehow. Yeah, without a doubt. Okay. All right, so I stabbed myself with one of the pins. This is like the reality of new projects, guys. I've straightened out the pins enough to where they are in the header port for the screen. But now I'm kind of scared and like as to how much pressure I can apply to make them go in more. There you go. There, yeah. No, you can be generous with the pressure, guys. It should feel like snug and honestly, yeah, there we go, like that. So it's kind of level. All right, cool. We've got the screen here with the computer. By no means perfect, but now it's time to test whether or not this is gonna work. We want to see if the display is working. We're gonna grab our SD card or our micro SD card and put it into our Pwnagotchi, or I mean, I guess we're putting it into the Raspberry Pi. Perfect. It's a snug fit like that. Pretty sure it should protrude a bit out like that. This center micro USB port is specifically for data transfer. The left side, from what I read, is purely for powering. But this center one will do both. We need to actually work with the Raspberry Pi now, so let's get into that. And I'm actually using, this is funny, I'm using the cable from my Xbox One controller. And I'm pretty sure it'll work. And there you go. I don't know if you saw that light. There you go. Yeah, there's a light. So we've actually got a SSH into the device, the Raspberry Pi, and go through the Pwnagotchi setup wizard. And hopefully it should be good to go. So let's check it out. All right, so we set up our device, right? We set up the properties. We configure the IPv4 address, but now we've got to actually connect to the device. So I'm going to use PuTTY. You can use the terminal, however you prefer. And we're just going to do 10.0.0.2, port 22, open. And, you know, just hit accept on that. Our login is going to be Pi, password, Raspberry. Let's hope I spell this right. I don't think I spelled it right. Hey, there we go. Okay. So there's a bunch of stuff that actually pops up on our screen here after logging in. It says, hi, I'm a Pwnagotchi 2.8.9. Please take good care of me. Yeah, so it's, you know, like a Tamagotchi. It's very friendly. Here's some basic things you need to know to raise me properly. If you want to change my configuration, use /etc Pwnagotchi /config.toml. Do we have a nano on this? Hey, we do. Nice. I don't know why I thought there might not have been nano, but okay. If you want to know what I'm doing, you can check my logs with the command pwnlog. Okay, let's do this setup now. We're gonna do the setup sudo pwnagotchi -- wizard. Did I spell that right? Do you want to restore the previous configuration? Oh, actually, let's cancel that. Before anything, SSH is enabled. The default password for Pi has not been changed. Yes, let's do that now. So please log in as the user Pi and type password to set the, okay. I don't know why that took me so long to figure out how to change the password. I'm kind of dumb. So it's just PS pass WD Pi current password. Raspberry, new password. Hey, there we go. Okay, cool. We got that set up. We got a new password set. Great. Now let's actually do the wizard. We're going to hit no for this because we didn't have a previous configuration. Yes, we are sure about that. Welcome to the interactive installation. Okay. Yeah, so the guy that made this image of Pwnagotchi is J.O. Felony. Shout out to him. Okay. I shall go by Labagotchi from now on. How many networks do you want to whitelist? We will also ask for a MAC for each network. Each SSID and BSSID count as one network. One. The name of that. So last time I did this, I put yes, and it asked then for the MAC address of my iPhone, which I do not know, nor do I know how to find at the moment. So I'm just going to say no for now. You can always go back into the actual configuration file and change this. But I do want to mess around with this, with the Bluetooth tethering setting later on. So we're going to say no for now. Of course we want to display. Looks like you can go here and it'll tell you like the list of displays. I already know mine. It's wave share _4. Do you want to invert the color, the display color? That's cool. I kind of do want to go with the black display because everyone goes with the white display. I'm going to do that. I'm looking at my Pwnagotchi as this screen just popped up. Okay, it's rebooting. I'm sure it'll take some time to actually boot back up. Yo, I was about to say that, you know, I might not even get anything. The reboot might not even matter because my cable doesn't transfer data or whatever, but I spoke too soon, and actually, I'm just going to move my camera. I'm not going to move the actual... Check this out, guys. Wow. So yeah, it does look a little bit like murky and whatever, not fully clean yet. It takes a while for the display to actually set in and look clearer. So that's something to keep in mind. But look at that, just so easy to set up, and it looks so beautiful. It's got a face. Kind of got a whisper here, because I don't live alone. Anyway, I found out some cool stuff. Take a look at my Pwnagotchi here. It looks a lot better, and I figured out a couple things. So on this is, I guess, kind of the official Pwnagotchi website, not by the original creator, but I guess the forked version, whatever. Under the basic configuration page, we've got some pretty cool stuff here. So, for instance, whoever wrote this has given us a lot more information as to what we can do in the config. So the cool thing here is UI.fps = 1. My screen originally looked like shit. I'm not gonna lie. And this apparently changes. I don't actually know what this does, but it does something to the screen where I think it refreshes every certain amount of time, every like couple minutes. Whereas if it was set to 0 or just not set at all, the screen would only refresh every time it would boot up. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to show you how I did that. First of all, we're going to go to cd/etc/Pwnagotchi. And then in there, we've got the Config.toml. We're going to have to sudo into that. Sudo nano config.toml. And all you've got to do is just add that line there. Control X. And then Y and enter. I don't think the change will happen automatically. You have to restart the service. In order to do that, you just do systemctl restart pwnagotchi.service, and then it'll prompt you for a password. You should be good to go there. All right, guys, so you're going to hate me, but I screwed up. And the way I screwed up is because, well, I mean, technically I didn't, okay? So I obviously bought a portable battery, the PiSugar2, and the way it works is you're supposed to attach it from the bottom here, right? There are holes here for screws. Those screws, they go through the Raspberry Pi and then into the PiSugar. But obviously the screen is kind of in the way. I got no choice but to take this off again, which is like the last thing I want to do. Okay, it actually wasn't that bad taking it off. The bottom of the battery, it's got this board here with these specific, these pins. And these pins here are kind of clicky, or I guess bouncy. So they're supposed to line up to the top of the Raspberry Pi. So make sure it's lined up. It's kind of what it looks like. And now we can start screwing. Guys, I just realized, because I was trying to, you know, screw the freaking thing in, and the mounting holes have tape on them. Like, literally, I couldn't get anything through. I was like, what is happening? You can see the reflection. It's like, there's tape on it. Okay, I think we're good there. Now, let's try this again. Holy crap, that took way too long. It's done. The screwing is done. So there's a switch here to actually turn on the battery. Well, there are two switches, it looks like, and I think it's this one on the far right. It's so compact. Check this out, guys. All right, y'all, we're going to try to install this plugin right here. It is the PiSugar2 plugin, so we can get that battery percentage up on our screen. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so let's see. Oh, we're just following this guide I found online. Let's pray to God it works. So we're already in the root directory. It next wants us to download the official PiSugar Power Manager. That's very strange. It's taking its sweet time. Could not resolve. Okay, so yeah, after doing some more research, it looks like I haven't even shared an internet connection with my freaking Raspberry Pi, which I thought I had already done. Completely wrong on that. I found this tutorial by Cybercats Labs, shout out to him, where we can just run a couple scripts on our PowerShell or within our Windows device. But it also does say run this at your own risk for people on Windows 11. So just keep that in mind. So it looks like we have to download a script first. Okay, let's do that. Let's download the raw file. It's in our downloads folder. So we're going to go CD to our downloads folder. Next thing we want to do here is run these commands that Cybercat Labs has kindly put down in the description. Okay, I have to make sure to run this as admin, guys. That's probably what was wrong. That was probably the issue. Okay, it says a Windows reboot may be required. And next we got to do this. Select your main Ethernet adapter with internet access that will be used for sharing internet. Okay, that would be my first device here. And then the RNDIS gadget is number 4. Hey, okay, works. Now let's proceed with actually installing this plugin. We're in our root directory. We're going to paste this. Pretty sure I just have the normal one, so I'm just going to go the first option. How do I say yes? Oh my god. I have no idea how to make the selection. This is so weird. It looks like we may need to enable a setting. Yeah, we got to run this command here. And then we have to select interface options and I2C. Would you like the ARM I2C interface to be enabled? Yes. There we go. Let's try this one more time. Maybe I need a reboot. Doing some more research. We've got some solution here, potentially. So let me relog into my Raspberry Pi here. Let's do, so this guy's saying he's running JO Felony 2.7.7, and I was unable to use curl once I got to the PiSugar model selection. I don't know if that's actually our problem, but you know what? Let's just try this. I'm willing to try anything at this point. Okay. Now, let's do this. It says to go back and just continue this process. Normally, okay, I see. Instead of like piping or adding the pipe here and doing it all in one line, we're separating the commands, I guess. I am by no means a Linux wizard. I'm just your average dude. It worked. Oh, wow. And it actually has a newer option. Okay, I think, yeah, I'm going to go with the two LEDs because it says the newer model. And so after doing that, okay, so now we're just going to run this command, or the next command, then the next one in the list. Okay, let's check out if we have the installed plugins directory. See if we, oh, I want a CD. Custom plugins. Okay, we'll just run it. Okay. Next, we have here, this installs a PiSugar2 package into your Python library. Let's do it. So that didn't work. So yeah, that obviously didn't work because we probably have a different Python version. So let's check Python 3.11. So, okay. So then in that case, do we just do like this? That worked. All right, and we ran that last command there. Now in Etsy Pwnagotchi Config.toml file, we are going to add the following. Paste this here, and I don't know why my new face didn't work. I got to figure that out. All right, so we paste that in there. We'll hit enter. Oh no, not enter. We'll hit Control X and then Y to save and enter. We're on the actual web UI of the PiSugar v2. So it's pretty cool. It's got a couple of settings here. Our bro Cybercat here is telling us we gotta do a sudo systemctl. We gotta restart the actual Pwnagotchi service. Pwnagotchi.service. Let's do that. So my screen here is restarting. Yep, it's working. I've got a battery percentage here. Well, here it is, guys. The finished product, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot more that can be done to the Pwnagotchi. This is definitely just the beginning. But take a look at how slim this thing is. Well, it's very compact. It can be slimmer, actually. Believe it or not, there's a Slimagotchi. Yeah, maybe that's my next project. But really, this was a lot of fun to make. I'm definitely not done here. This is just part one. Part two, I'll try to go through more configuration-related things. I'll actually go ahead and put the Pwnagotchi to the test. And I'll also try to figure out what other plugins there are for the Pwnagotchi, because I know there are a ton that are created by the community. So definitely excited to check that out. If you guys did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. And be sure to join my Discord. It is down below. I'm trying to build a community. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.